healing crystals, skincare routines, knitting a sweater, fitting in jeans. With Katie and Sarah, no need to worry, you're on a lady journey.
Sarah's making a bold choice today on Lady Journey. A red lip. She's a slut and a mom.
Yes.
And my co-host,
Hi.
Sarah Talamash.
Thanks for having me, Katie,
Yes.
the diagnosers of a berry family. That was making me laugh.
I'm a diagnoser's wet dream. That's me. I will tell you your problems.
I always think that. I remember I think it was Rose about over text. You're like, I just like to diagnose people. And she's like, well, you diagnose me. And I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
Well, you're like,
not under pressure.
Well, it's rude. So I'm not going to do it to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like diagnosing people is not a nice thing to do. Because I have no medical background. But
no, none whatsoever. None whatsoever.
But now that I've watched enough TikTok, I'm like, clearly a borderline personality. That's a cluster. That's a cluster disorder.
That's a cluster,
right there.
Yeah, you have dissociative.
And it just means like, that's the do you ever think about this with the narcissistic TikTok?
Yeah.
Or you're like, am I getting this because I'm a narcissist, or am I getting this because there are narcissists in my life?
I just feel like
I suspect I'm the narcissist.
I think that's what it is, because I think if you're a narcissist or if you're toxic, then it's really easy for you to just label anybody that you have a problem with as a narcissist instead of being like, oh, well, maybe I contributed to my own relationship falling apart.
Well, because I'm like, which you're the only one that's online right now telling people. So wouldn't this be like what a narcissist would do to play the victim?
That's the narcissist game. That's definitely the narcissist game.
So I'm always confused when somebody portrays themselves as a victim of narcissist abuse, because there is also, have you heard of like reactionary abuse, where you are abusive because you're only reacting to the abuse that you get. And then you're like, well, when will it end?
Right.
And who is not crazy? And I've determined if you're not crazy, if you're not posting online your social problems.
Yes. That's my main criteria for diagnoses.
Yes.
Well, I just love anything pop psychology, because I love when things make it into like the common lexicon, and then it just becomes, it's like we all have problems with like black and white thinking, and then just to be like, you're the problem. I'm a queen and you're shit.
Or like when you're talking to your therapist and you're like, so I've been gray rocking him, and he's like, what's that? I just assumed you know all these terms.
You're like, I think it's been made up, actually. Yeah. That's so funny.
He's like, I'm like, oh, I forgot my therapist is an 80-year-old man.
Well, it's the same thing with gaslighting, because
know that one either.
Yeah, like gaslighting is like, it now just means anything.
Yes.
It originally meant like a guy that like who lies to you.
Yeah, because it's from the movie. He makes his wife, he's been dimming the lights or flickering them, and then every time she complains, he says, no, that's not happening, and eventually makes her feel like she's crazy so he can commit her, so he can marry the girl.
That's the only actual definition of gaslighting, is like trying to like mess with somebody's
your reality.
Yeah, which I don't know. Like, I feel like if Mike was fucking with me like that, I would be like, no, that's you. Like, that's 100% you. You're not convincing me that I'm insane. That is such a woman. That's such a lady journey to be like, I guess I am insane. Like, nobody who's insane is like, yeah, I guess it is me.
Right.
But I mean,
Every
well, no,
other
because
moment
abuse
of my
happens.
life.
Abuse happens. I acknowledge it. I always get nervous. I get nervous about accidentally saying the wrong thing.
I do too, because you all of a sudden one day you realize, oh, I guess that is eugenics. Because one time I said, I go, because in New York, it's really hard to cater to people with disabilities.
It is,
and I am now, since I am a mom with a stroller, I categorize myself in this.
You're in a wheelchair.
I'm in a wheelchair, in a life wheelchair. There's no elevators. Even if they are, most of them don't work in the city. They're always out of order. They're far and few between. And the lot, like I think I remember hearing about UCB, the original location, the one on 8th Avenue by the Christidis.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that got shut down is because there was no wheelchair access into the basement.
Oh.
And so they had to move into a place that was, and I was like, God, that's so annoying. Why don't people in wheelchairs, why don't they just move them to a town? And then my friend was like, yeah, I think that's eugenics.
Just put them all in one town.
A disability town.
Well, just put them, yeah. Well, actually, I think that's a fun idea.
Right.
Well, because then if you don't have to live there, but you could live there by choice, then it would be more fun.
It'd be wonderful. Well, I was thinking
money-making scheme. It's like a Disney World.
Yeah. And it sounds wonderful.
I think it's fun. Yeah. Well, it's like they have the little people conventions.
Yes.
Every year. But yeah, New York is actually, I think, one of the most horrendous places to live for people that are handicapped. I actually worked with an actress who was handicapped. She was in a wheelchair, and she was telling me, like, when she first moved to New York, I think she went to NYU or no, I think she did go to NYU. She was like, oh, you have on your phone, like, you know where there's elevators. So you think like, oh, I can take this train to this train. Whatever, and then you can get out. So she takes the train. She's with her friend, thank God. She takes the train to the train, to the train, to the elevator, and the elevator's not working.
Oh, always.
And her
I've had
friend's
that
like
several
dragging
times.
her up the stairs. And it's like, I mean,
And then
it's
that
one
person
thing with
breaks
the
their
stroller. Yeah. And then her friend's, it's like then. So I'm sure it's awful. But anyway, whatever the perfect thing is to say about that, I support. We always support. And welcome to Lady Journey, everyone. Welcome and thank you.
Lady Journey.
We're fully in our new studio. Can you believe this?
I prefer it, and there's something nice to go to a place of work, and I was looking forward to today rather
Me
than
too.
going into my home.
Yeah, I think so. I think this was the right move.
I do too.
We have space to spread out. It's nice and clean in here. We don't have to like burden you with your baby, like meeting strangers. Like,
Nor-
here, hold him.
I also feel like Joe has a low threshold for if Marty is problematic.
Yeah.
That I feel I get, because we do switching off in the morning. He's like, I can't. And I'm like this, but I do.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to figure this out. Most of the time it's good, but every now and then I'm like, yeah, but just pretend I'm not here.
Dads need to learn. You have to throw the dad into the deep end of the pool. And that's because what ends up happening, I've heard this from parents. It's like the dad will be like, oh, I'm scared, I don't know. And then like you'll end up like taking over, and then he never learns.
No. And then you're like, and then he won't ever get over the feeling of like the overwhelmingness of it, because it's all overwhelming.
Yeah.
But once you do it once or twice, and you're like, it's not that big of a deal.
The dad is the baby bird, and you have to push him out of the nest.
Because Marty he has no idea. I'm just jamming his body in there. Like,
no,
get
he's
the fuck
fine.
in there. Yeah.
Squish him in.
But I get it, because like anytime we've moved to a new stroller, it's always like, I don't know, we're so used to the old stroller. But once after one or two tries, you're like, oh, this is way better, and it's less of a nuisance.
What's your new stroller that you have now?
Oh my God, it's the Yo-Yo Zen, and it was pricey.
I love your stroller journey. You're like, and we've got the SUV.
That was a thing in the baby journey. You know, I was living in New York, and then I was like, my sister-in-law was like, you gotta just go for the high-end one. So I saw whatever was one of the most expensive. I got it, and it felt like it was the Cadillac of strollers that had like a good hydraulic system. It's like good for off-roading.
Yeah.
But it was so big and cumbersome that I couldn't walk it up a 1-story walk-up or 2-story walk-up. So that was an issue. It never folded in nicely, so it took up 50% of our trunk space. It was very, very heavy. And then anytime I would go into stores, I would just take down their whole retail, like just dragging everything down
hilarious.
with me.
Yeah.
It was so cumbersome that I realized immediately this is not the best stroller for New York City. It's a suburban stroller that can be just placed in a garage and never thought about. So, and you helped me. You found somebody told us to go to Buy Gear, B-U-Y Gear.
One of the journeyers sent it to the Instagram, and thank you.
I sold
many blessings to you.
And the snoo, they picked it up, and I made $769 back,
which is huge.
I never make that much money back on like a Poshmark kind of sale.
Oh my God, or the stoop sale, forget it.
Or the stoop sale. They bought all of it. they came and picked it up. It was so easy, and they made a profit because they don't buy any of the inventory, and it was nice stuff, and it's all gently used stuff that they're getting. So, and that went immediately into my.
Oh, what a relief!
Well, I had to wait after the purchase. Like it was like a 30-day process, but it was really easy to do the direct deposit. So if you're selling, if you want to get rid of baby stuff, this is the website to check out.
Gear. Is it only baby stuff?
I think it's baby stuff.
Yeah.
So
I see more of that happening in the future because it's just so much as everybody's doing so much secondhand stuff now. Everything's secondhand.
Well, I actually think because you're only using the baby stuff for maybe tops 6 months at the most.
Yeah.
For even the good stuff or like the bassinet and even the crib, we keep having to lower the mattress. And then I think he'll probably be able to do a day bed in the next year or so.
A big boy bed? Oh my gosh. I hope you get him like one of those little funky race car ones. How funny.
I do
vroom,
want
vroom.
one of those.
Yeah.
And I want to like sleep in there with him.
Oh.
I know that sounds like very incestuous.
Snuggly. You can sleep in there with
It sounds very boy mom.
Boy mom.
Bad boy mom culture.
My friend has a son and he had a second birthday and she had car themed birthday for him for his second birthday and it was Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's really cute.
Shout out. I was like, and I saw photos of it and she really did it up. He's just a cutie patootie.
I do look for it. He does like wheels right now.
Oh, boys love wheels.
They love wheels.
Boys love wheels and girls love taking care of a baby and a family.
But so we got my hairdresser in her story. I was like, you got to get the Yo-Yo Zen. And I looked it up and I do have some complaints because I always have complaints about stuff because nothing is made perfect
of course.
in my world.
No, you're a woman. You're a woman living in Manhattan.
Yes.
You're going to complain.
But I do like it. It's lightweight. It folds so compactly
Amazing.
by one like swift pickup. And then also I
great.
can kind of whip it out and it'll just like blow out as into a seat. It's easier to put him in there. It's got a bottom thing. It only weighs like 8 pounds. It has a little carrying strap so I can carry it on my shoulder through the airport. And then also it's small enough to go into overhead compartment but most times I can just check the stroller at the gate and they give it back to me.
Oh, that's good.
So it doesn't matter. But that's where I'm at with the stroller game. The only thing is I put it together and there's 2 straps on either side that I was like, how is it whenever I'm putting stuff together, it never goes.
Yeah.
It never fits.
There's always like a weird thing sticking out that you're like, what was that? What's that thing?
And then you're worried when you're walking in public with it. People are like, oh, he's going to get catapulted in any minute now.
Yeah,
like,
you're
she
like,
has
what?
no idea. So I was hoping somebody... I don't get it. I watched YouTube videos for hours to see and I redid it, put it back together, tried another angle of putting it back on. Because sometimes if you go at another angle, then all of a sudden it works. This assembly line stuff is so infuriating, and that's part of the baby process. But I am now, I can say, pretty happy with our stroller game.
Wow, this is huge. This is huge. Well, I know that this was with the Duna, but I do remember we went to a tea time for your birthday and you brought the baby. And it was crazy. I can't remember if I've told this story on here, but this is a great Lady Journey story. We went to Alice's Teacup, which I love. I had a Groupon, of course.
Right. It was
afternoon
wonderful.
tea. And so we get in there. I had made a reservation. We get in there and the host was like, this young gay guy, I'm assuming because he was being so rude. And that's the only context in which I would be okay with it. If you're straight and you're rude, I'm like, this is misogyny. But if you're a gay guy, I'm like, oh, that's just him. Yeah, that's just him and I'm fine with it. I love it. But he wouldn't let us sit on the ground floor. And I was like, well, I did make a reservation for 2. And he was like, well, you're actually 3 in your party. And I'm like, this guy? Like, he's really small.
He's just in the stroller. He wasn't big enough for a high chair yet.
No, and it's a spiral staircase. Sarah's hoisting the pumpkin seat, hoisting it. You like almost like fell down the stairs at one point because you're like losing balance. I'm below, trying to support. I'm just a support person.
It's just like 25 pounds that I have to carry as like a basket.
Right in the crook of your arm.
And then it just kept hitting I would get bruises from the stroller hitting my thigh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was nuts. And then we had a lovely time.
Yeah. No, I love tea time.
I love tea time. But then the crazy thing was on the way out, there's no one in the downstairs.
Yeah.
There's no one in the downstairs, and we're like, wow, I guess it cleared out. I'm looking at the guy. He also gave me a weird, because I went to pay the check. Because remember, the girl came and I didn't have the Groupon, so I needed to like hunt it. So I went down and I was like,
awkward to be like, hi,
I'm the person with the coupon. I have no shame. I'm like, I have a Groupon. I want everyone to know the second I come in.
I swear they do that on purpose, though. When you have a Groupon and you got a deal, they always act like you didn't. So you have to be like, hi, I think I get a deal.
Yes.
It's me.
That's the deal.
I thought I was getting a deal.
That's the deal where it's like, okay, so we'll give this to you for cheap, but you will be lightly shamed. And that's, I've been trying to do one for the place we went to for Mike's birthday, Club A Steakhouse. They have a wild Groupon. It's the #1 rated steakhouse in New York. But they have a Groupon where it's like a 3-course dinner with a bottle of wine for 2 people is like $100 or something.
That's not bad.
But you have to buy the Groupon and then wait a full day and then
to see if
make
their
a reservation. Yeah, and so like
full.
so it's like I called them being like, oh, maybe could I get the Groupon and come in tonight? Like, is it full? They're like, no. It's like, oh, there is no Groupon, is there? There's no Groupon.
Did Groupon ever exist? Nobody talks about Groupon anymore.
I was so into it. It's like such a thing of the 2010s.
It was. Yeah. It was really big. It was like your whole social.
Be like, I'm getting laser hair removal. It's not a doctor. It's a Groupon. It's a stranger I found online.
I got moles removed from Groupon.
That's right. I remember your joke. That's so funny.
Joe got me because I was self-conscious, but I don't even think they were medically removed.
It's just a guy. Just a guy scraping it off.
They were just aesthetically removed.
Yeah.
Like there was no diagnosing.
Of course not.
I was like, well, if it comes back, it's cancer.
That's how you know. Can I share one of my mini journeys that I'm on right now? So I've gotten really into collagen creamer. I'm doing collagen every day now.
In coffee or on your face?
Coffee.
Okay.
So yeah, it's in coffee, but it's for my face allegedly.
What I'm skeptical.
I am skeptical too, but it's expensive. And so that's kind of is the gratifying.
Yeah.
That's the gratifying element for me. It's like I buy it. It's like $20 for the thing. Originally, I started doing it because it's a way to add like a little tiny boost of protein to the coffee.
Okay.
Because sometimes I like to just have a latte in the morning and just kind of go about the day. I don't want to have do the eggs and do a whole thing.
Right. It's a pain in the ass to incorporate a lot of protein in your diet.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So I did it for the boost, but I do think the only thing that's really ever helped, my face is puffy because I had a glass of wine last night.
Well, I do feel, I looked at our Patreon bonus this weekend and I was like, Katie's looking really good.
It's the collagen.
I think it is.
Well, I've also been doing, I have been really staying vigilant on my retinol and trying to do that at least 2-3 times a week. And I think that's made the most difference than anything.
I think the retinol does work. I do retinol.
I do, this Paula's Choice is the retinol that I use. And I think it's like a pretty strong retinol.
Yeah.
Which are you using?
I'm using the one that I get from Amazon, and it's from, I guess, like the French pharmacy, A347 or something. It's blue. It looks like a tube of toothpaste or like model glue. It's in a metal tube.
Lindsay has prescription retinol. She says if you guys want some, she can give it to you.
Oh, she's going
She'll remind you right now.
I will take
hilarious.
prescription retinol.
Lex is letting us know that his wife will be our plug for prescription retinol. I like that.
She's
I'm
our mule.
I can't get a prescription, but Lindsay's. Well, I want to get Trenton-Owen. That's what she has. Yeah, I want to get the Trenton-Owen, but I don't know. Everything, it's working fine right now.
Yeah, I think of all the stuff that in the skincare world. To me, I think that works.
The retinol, like retinol, drinking water, and then just like
avoiding stuff.
Yeah, the heavy creams.
But like Karen Fan she buys a lot of stuff, and she'll give me some of her things, and she's bought me a few. I don't know what it does, and I don't think I see results. And it's just fascinating to know that we're spending hundreds of dollars, and I don't think it's doing anything.
Oh, I want to move to your neighborhood and get Karen's leavings. That's gonna be my new. That's gonna be my new business plan. Hey, Karen, do you have any outfits? Do you have any? We're the same size.
Well, you guys. I think you could fit. I couldn't fit in. I tried on her stuff for a wedding when I was
when you were
planned out my
outfit.
newly.
You did like
poorly.
2 weddings back to back.
I did within a month. One, I used one of my dresses, but then I was like, oh, I thought my newly was going to come in on time and it didn't. So I had to do a J. Crew purchase at the last minute. But Karen said, come over. And she was thinking I could fit in her stuff. I can't.
Interesting.
I was like,
You're bigger
Karen,
or smaller
I'm
than
bigger.
her? Okay.
Karen's quite petite on top.
Yeah.
I think she's more bootylicious.
She is. I would call her that.
Yes.
I'd be like, you have more tushy.
Tushy. And I could, like the blazer dress, I could only wear it as a blazer.
Yeah, you are taller. You're a lot taller. I've been back on Facebook Marketplace. I got a new wedding find on there. I got my bouquet.
Okay.
It's from Ling's Moment, which is a fake flower place. I got this on. The best thing about Facebook Marketplace is like I just get on there. I just get on there. I let it rip.
You rip and you go, and then you see
exactly.
what happens.
You see what happens
the
and
next
then
morning.
You're like, I guess I'm going to Chinatown now. You're just on the Staten Island ferry. Like, here I go. It's such an adventure. But I got a great bouquet. I'm so excited. $10 for my wedding bouquet.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
What are the flowers?
The flowers are. It's like a spring mix. So they're plastic. They're fake flowers, but they look fine. It looks like a regular bouquet, but it's like some blush tones. There's some greens, like sage green is one of my colors, and then just white. So it's like very in my palette, and it's the arrangement's beautiful, and it's also flat on the back, so you can hold to the dress.
Oh.
And
are you throwing it, or can you?
I'm
or are they
thinking
too
about
heavy as
throwing-
fake ones?
No, I'm thinking about throwing it because I just love the ritual of throwing the bouquet. But I think maybe I'll make it fun. It won't be like there will not be one single woman there. I think it might be Julia Johns if she's coming, and I don't want it to be like her, So I think maybe I'll throw it and it'll be for like everybody. And instead of saying it's the person to get married next, it'll be like will be the person who is gonna get rich.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, or maybe I'll throw like a money bouquet or something. That's fun. I'm just
like
throwing
a
money
money-
at my guests. Here, you poor assholes.
Put a curse on it.
Yeah,
Like if you
yeah.
don't throw this to 5 other people,
I throw shit. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, that's funny. I like a chain email bouquet. Your wish will come true if you share. There's so much chain. You didn't think the chain email. You're like, wow, I guess that was done for because the age of email is kind of out the door. But now it's like reinvented itself and TikTok. It's like, is this just the ageless? It's like an ageless form of like spam.
it's.
Share this sound with 18 followers and you will have your wish. It's like,
Can I share some harsh judgment I have on?
Do.
I see it on Facebook a lot, and I'm so embarrassed for people in my life that
are sharing it. It's like, I don't believe in science.
they do or they fall for the copy and paste this to your timeline or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Facebook will change its terms on you kind of thing that you're like, well, what do you think is happening to you?
Like, how do you think Facebook works? I know, it's just everyone who's over the age of 60. Oh my gosh.
Just share this. Yeah. For like, so you can expect love and peace in your life. And I'm just like, this is embarrassing.
This is so embarrassing. What about the one that's like, share this and all of your followers can share a moment about you? It's like, is it your birthday? I'm sorry. That's a narcissist. Are you doing any soups now? Any soups?
No, I can't. I can't be in a cooking phase right now because
You're still in the moving in phase?
I'm still in the moving in phase. And then also, Marty won't let me do anything in the kitchen. He's
He's a
very
narcissist.
feminist.
I think he's a narcissist. Yeah. Oh, you said he's a feminist.
Well,
Oh.
anytime I move into the kitchen, he immediately follows me in there, and then he wants to get picked up, so I can't cook with him. So I do crock pot meals instead.
That's right. You've been doing your crock pot meals.
Yes. So I do crock pot meals instead. But I'm not really in my journey as the red lipstick journey.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm trying on a red lipstick.
Yeah. That's a great journey.
But there's red lipstick that's like blue undertone, and I think this one might be a blue one.
Really? I was thinking it feels like almost more of a pinky to me. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, it looks really good. I think that shade suits you because
I need consensus also from the general public on film.
We'll be zooming into Sarah's mouth. And please weigh in. Zoom in. Well, I have worked with a makeup artist recently who told me that I actually have yellow undertones to my skin, which I didn't know.
I think most whiteys do.
Yes, it's a thing for the whiteys, but I was like, oh, because I always thought that I just had red undertones, because I really do. I have like some, I mean, rosacea pretty much, but and that was interesting because when I was looking at my wedding dresses, I know that like pure white, that's not a shade that is really appropriate for some like a Caucasian skin tone. Like you would want to go with ivory, because that has more yellow tones and that's more flattering. And I guess that's why.
I had no idea, but because I know they do that. People don't like to paint a room stark white. They rather do an off white.
Yeah, stark white.
Eggshell.
And a crew.
And a crew. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm doing the red lip because you don't have to worry about the eye makeup department. And I feel like as you age, I don't know if I can pull off the smoky eye anymore. That was my go-to.
That was the smoky eye, let it go.
But when I see it on older women, I'm like, oh, is that what I'm doing? And I get really worried about it.
Well, yeah, it's got to look now. Because everything is such like clean girl, which I do think the red lipstick supports the clean girl aesthetic, and it gives like a very French look. It's like when you see a smoky eye, when it's somebody in their late 30s, it just almost feels like you're kind of like a mom who's like working in a bar.
Yeah, or like,
like a
you
town.
are going to your Bon Jovi concert now. And he was your guy from back in the day.
Yes. Yeah. And you're like drinking like a Heineken. I have new glasses. What do you think about these?
I love those.
Tortoise shell. So I actually got these for free from the film that I was in, which is now over. Thank God. I'm like going into it. I'm so excited to like move into other areas of my life. But I think I'm going to keep these. These give me a look that it feels like very studious, very serious.
I like the eyewear, and my friend asked me the other day, she's like, do you need readers? And I'm like, not yet, but I don't deal with a lot of small print, so it's not a problem, but I want readers.
I think you would look cute. Yeah.
Eyewear, you don't have to worry about eye makeup, because it is eyeliner for your eyes.
It is, and no one can tell if you're wearing makeup anyway when you have glasses.
No, and it's a look without an effort.
And also, yes, the good thing about glasses is like you can be like you can just so like accentuate what you're
thinking.
What?
Yeah, it's a good prop. It's like cigarettes for me.
Yeah, it is.
That's also, can you smoking with your eyewear?
How about one of these? Choking yourself with your stem.
I think smoking's going to come back. I think vaping's going to be out and smoking's in. An every now and then cigarette.
I love an every now and then cigarette.
I wish I could have an every now and then cigarette. That's what I want. Why can't we smoke?
Well, vaping, yeah. We just start smoking on this podcast. Well, the thing about
Joe, let me smoke.
Joe, let her smoke.
He let me smoke
just
in
around
Paris.
The baby.
And now I'm always like, we should go to Paris again. I'm going to Paris a lot.
She loves it. That's hilarious. That's like, I saw this TikTok video of a mom who like the husband's like, why are you going to the grocery store so much? And there's like a wine bar in the grocery store now. And she's like, but like, you need me time. You need to play a little spot for some me time.
It's golf. She's golfing.
She's golfing with her stomach and her mind. For the film that I was working on, they had a character who was smoking, so they had like herbal cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I all the Gen Z people were like, ew, gross. And I was
judgment.
I know. I was like, maybe I should do one. I was like, maybe I should try one.
Yeah.
They were like, ew, what? Why? I was like, just kidding.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Bad.
But so gross, but it smells so good.
But sometimes I just think the holding it's like, this is way better.
Oh, yeah.
Or, yeah. I don't know.
Vaping. No, I don't. I never got into it. And also, as Lex is vaping right now.
Although I don't feel like vaping would hit my addiction hole you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just feel like the nicotine hit and the smoke into the lungs is exactly what you need at that moment.
Yes.
And I just feel like a vaping would be like, it's kind of like, have you ever eaten keto bread?
Yeah.
And you're like,
no way. Because
but it doesn't, I'm not feeling
for me, the urge
spiritual right now.
Yeah. For me, the urge to smoke is self-destructive.
Right.
And breathing in and inhaling, that's what's scratching the itch of
Right.
like, I'm hurting
Yes.
myself right now. And I'm giving myself diarrhea. And that's what I can never push through. Never push through. Just smoke until you get diarrhea. And then you have to stop and be like, that was awful.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry, I've sharded.
Yeah. So that. Yes.
I've been doing a lot of soups lately. I did a great one last night. I did sausage, kale, white bean.
I saw that on my Pinterest. I put that on my Pinterest recipes.
Yeah, and I jazzed it up. I did a little. I put in my best soup recommendation is number one. I have better than bouillon. I have chicken and beef, so I use those all year.
I just bought those. I don't know how to use them, and I'm afraid to use them.
Oh, it's easy. You just take 1 teaspoon of the fat or whatever is in there, and then you put that with 1 cup hot water.
And then that's your
broth.
Okay.
So, yeah. So use it like a bouillon. I also just use it like in addition to broth. Instead of getting like 2 giant cartons, I'll get like 1 and then I'll add a bit of that with some water.
Okay, because I would buy the cartons and then I'm like,
it's so heavy.
It would just sit in the back of my fridge and I felt so bad wasting the rest of it.
Better than bouillon, you can also use in other recipes. Like I'm doing a really good baked chicken right now where I cut up the chicken and I take butter and better than bouillon and spices and I rub it in it and it cooks and it's so moist.
Ooh, I like an intense chicken
nummy.
flavor.
Yeah, and I put a little smoked paprika and garlic powder on there. Forget it.
That sounds good.
Forget it. But my white bean sausage soup, I cut the sausage into like little balls. So it was almost like an Italian, like a wedding soup. And I threw in some mushrooms. Oh yeah. And my other soup thing, this is what I was getting to, is I always have this in the winter. This is the best thing to add to any soup. It's the Trader Joe's hot bamba. It's Calabrian chili paste fermented. And it just gives, you don't want to put too much in because it is.
Is it like
hot.
a little vinegar or a sourness to the soup?
It adds almost like an umami. Like it gives it really like a savory quality.
Ooh, yummy.
It's so, And so my soup went off the charts. I've been doing a lot of meal prepping lately. And
that's what I was thinking I'm going to have to start doing because Marty's moving off bottles and I'm like, fuck, I have to make 3 meals
you
a
gotta
day.
do baby food. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of, I was like, I think I have to start meal prepping.
Yeah. I've just been in like a mood to have my oven on, just like roasting, doing a butternut squash,
I love a simple sweet baked potato.
Oh, I love a baked potato. I did my French lentils the other night. I'm back into cooking. Like when I went on Zoloft for like months, I was like, I hate cooking. I don't know why I thought I liked it.
Summertime is too hot.
It's too hot. And I wasn't even like doing salads. I was like, I just want to eat like tuna from the can. I don't care.
Yeah, like the girl dinner situation.
Yeah. I was doing like all girl. And now I'm like, I think I'm back in.
Yes.
I love cooking again. I love it. I made a banana bread. And I made a, here's the thing. I used to always do like the low sugar banana bread. No, that's not me anymore. I did full sugar for my last banana bread, full cup of white sugar, and it was so
the
crispy.
Best.
So, oh my God, the sugar caramelized in the onion with the banana, and it was so good.
What was I talking about? Somebody when I was in Key West, Sam telling me a soda, and it was a Mexican soda. It sounds like I'm gonna get racist, but I was like, I don't know. I was like, it's not. I was like, how many grams of sugar are that? It was insane. And then somebody was telling me, yes, they love sugar down there. Like when you go to the fruit stands, a lot of them will pour extra sugar on like a pineapple.
Oh, wow.
Or mango. And I was like, that sounds crazy. But in my mind, I was like, I feel like they're onto something. And I bet you I'd really, really like it with that much sugar.
When I was growing up, we would have like fresh strawberries with sugar on them. And I mean, it's like a little cake.
Yeah, it adds, because I was saying it's very similar where you're like, it's something I never thought about doing because fruit's already sweet enough as it is. But to add sugar, you're like, I bet you it tastes amazing. But it's like when people started adding more salt to their baked goods.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I did an apple crumble, like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and I did full sugar for that. And I also did, I think...
Add a little more salt or salted butter.
Oh, yeah. Salted butter. I used Kerrygold salted butter, and it took it to another level. Oh, my God. Kerrygold is such a good butter.
Yeah, I feel like you have to up the volumes on both flavor palettes.
I know. I'm like, I don't want to eat something sweet unless it's going to cause that tingling in my mind, whatever they call in like corporate America. That's like
extra.
The flavor pleasure has been activated. Like that's the only reason I'm eating this is because I'm trying to escape my life by not using drugs.
Right.
Activate the pleasure favors.
Like that feeling where you're like, oh, that's so
You're like,
fucking good.
Yeah, you're like mouth coming. Oh. I've been doing, I have another new recipe. Did I tell you about my tofu puddings that I've been doing?
No, but I've never heard anyone make dessert with tofu.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I got obsessed with silken tofu like about a year ago, and I was really into like making my own. I was just making like a very basic sauce for it with like soy sauce and rice vinegar and like a little sesame oil, and that was it really. And so I take silken tofu. I put it in my new blender. My new blender it's holding up its end of the bargain. And then I melt chocolate in the microwave. I'll just do like semi-sweet morsels. But then I also put in cocoa powder, a little vanilla extract, and maple syrup. And it blends. And the texture of it. Oh, and I put in a little butter too.
Okay.
So the butter, like I put in with the chocolate when I microwave it to kind of keep it from... getting burnt.
Yes.
But so the butter whips in with the tofu, and the texture, it's like chocolate mousse. It's really like the same as eating. I used to love to eat chocolate mousse from like whipped cream.
Flavorless.
It's flavorless, and I love the texture. And the best part about it is it's so high protein that you can eat a little bit and you're like, oh, I'm satisfied.
Now, does tofu go bad?
I'm not really. You can keep it in the fridge for like a week already made. Yeah.
I was hoping for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to. It's not like that. It's not like perishable. It's just like a little bean gel.
Yeah,
little bean gel.
Intrigued. Tofu was always one of those foods that I was like kind of nervous to do, but then once you start cooking with it, you're like, that's insane.
I think
it was just racial bias that I was dealing with.
Yeah, well, there's some hurdles. There's some hurdles, but this firm tofu. I don't like firm tofu.
No?
I don't care about it. Like, I'll eat it. I like it in a dish that's prepared like...
I like when it's lightly fried.
Oh.
With flour and lightly fried.
I love that.
So it's got like a crunchy texture where it's almost meat.
Like at a Japanese restaurant, like the agadashi with a sweet sauce. I do like firm tofu in pad thai. I always get that, or I always get tofu fried in like, if I get like Chinese vegetables and tofu or something like that. But silken tofu, the texture, even in a savory dish, it's just like off the charts. I'm a texture person now.
Yeah.
This is me. This is my journey.
That's what there's some foods where I'm like, the mochi.
Oh, I love
where
mochi.
I'm like, I don't even know if I like this, but I'm enjoying the mushiness with the bean in the inside.
Yeah. And the light powderiness.
Yes.
It's
weird.
Yeah, it is. You're like, rice gel? Rice gel, yeah.
Bean as a dessert? Blowing my mind. I made a mousse with avocado one time, and I was like, let's see, because this is during the keto days, and it wasn't bad. Mm-hmm. It wasn't great, but it was definitely doable.
I feel like avocado has a much stronger taste than tofu. Because tofu really doesn't have that strong of a taste at all.
Well, if tofu or avocado gets slightly bad, I can't eat it.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
You ever go to a restaurant and they serve you avocado when it's like a little off and you're like, we both know what's happening here.
Right, because there's some foods I can, like a banana, I can push through.
Oh, sure.
And it's still good to me. But there's some foods, even if it's slightly off, I'm like, it's bad.
I'll eat a banana that's gone black.
You can
I'm like,
cook with
ooh,
them.
yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweeten. Well, let's wrap up. We have our beautiful
We're
guest for the
tired.
next episode she's actually been here the whole time.
Yes.
And I'm sure she wants to go eventually. So you can look out for her next week. Everyone, please like and subscribe. Please
Yes.
join our Patreon.
Join our Patreon.
We are not going to have any more technical issues. We swear.
We're back.
That, first of all, sorry. And that's not our
But you
fault.
know what?
We're women. And
We are
the fact that
women.
we're here is defying gravity by being here. Do you even get that?
Lady Journey.
Lady Journey.